And welcome back to our LostCub venue, featuring Anton out here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, our Alpine edition, such as it were. And Anton is going to wake jarringly to his phone going off.
Fuck, shit. Scrambles, nearly falls out of the bed, catching the phone like, hello?
Yeah, you snag the phone. Suzanne still has like an arm draped over you, lazily. She's barely moving. She got so much more trash than you did. And you'll pick up. And for the moment, it will be just Becca, obviously.
Yes.
And yeah, the phone blares, scramble, duh. It's like, Jesus, about fucking time.
What?
The fuck are you?
I'm at Susie's. What's the problem?
Did you not get like any of the messages I sent you last night?
No.
Okay, it was more like this morning, but whatever. You should probably get out here.
Why, what's going on?
Heidi lost half her goddamn mind, and we had to drug her out to keep her from trying to claw herself to death.
What?
Yeah, she started fucking screaming and shit. Dad had to like pin her down. She was all bloodied up.
Alright, I'm on the way.
Yeah, just brace yourself there, Mountain Man.
I'm coming. You know what I mean? I mean, he's like pants on, like, I mean, he moves like a demon then around the room, really. Tossing on stuff.
You do. It's great because it's like pew, thump, because alcohol was a thing. But but yeah, scramble up, get your shit together. You've still got kind of that fuzzy head from after drinking. Not full blown hangover, at least not yet, if it's gonna happen at all. But yeah, you get yourself together. Suzanne's takes the one look at you zooming around the fucking room and proceeds to pull a pillow over her head because she wants to die right now.
He'll walk over and say to her, something's after happening with Heidi. I'm going up to Becca's.
Okay.
I'll keep you
Keep me in the loop.
I'll keep you posted. You get some rest and get some food in you when you can. He's like almost out the door nearly.
Yeah, she's just like, try not to die. Okay. Yeah, you fucking hammer down the stairs. Fucking bolt out for the car. And you will vroom 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 your way up to these sorry, my mouse is being weird. These delightful motherfuckers and their wonderful garage. And you almost want to say it's a trailer. It's not quite a trailer. It wants to be a trailer. But yeah, out to their place. Dare I ask how you are approaching this situation, good sir?
He just pulls up, gets out of the car, just walking very businesslike, you know what I mean? His face is concerned, but he's not like, I am the storm, coming through. But no, it's very driven, walking up.
Yeah. As usual, Becca is like propped out on the front porch, figuring that you'd be there pretty quick like, and is smoking. Just kind of leaned against the wall.
He'd just walk up, very matter-of-factly. All right, where is she?
And she just kind of bumps her head towards the door. Like I said, brace yourself.
Takes in the breath and just in we go.
Yeah, it ain't locked. And just to make things more apropos, I will do not quite that. And we will
I will zoom in dramatically.
Dramatically. Now, I'm just gonna quickly put these people where it makes slightly more fucking sense, really, considering who's where. New. Here we go. Much gooder. There. All right. So yeah, you putz in and I mean, Their door is open. There's no sign of like horrible tragedy, but I mean Heidi's door is open. Um, it does. I'll give you an alertness check.
Sure.
Do it. Yeah. Okay. So you're not so focused on getting where you're going that you miss it. You do see that her door has been forced open. Like part of the door frame is busted.
Yeah, he'll catch it as he's walking. I imagine. Kind of catches out of the corner of his eye.
Then yeah, as you head into that little guest room, you find Ambrose there, sitting on the edge of the bed, just kind of, idly. He's got a, let's see, he's essentially got antibiotic, like he has squirted a bunch out into his palm and is sitting there and very carefully, like, smearing a bit out with a finger, touching it here, touching it there. Heidi is splayed out on the bed. She is out cold. And she is sporting like angry red, like deep, nasty scratches around like her cheeks, jawline, her neck, her shoulders. I mean, she's tucked partway in, so like if there are more, you're not seeing them. But yeah, Ambrose is just kind of carefully applying antibiotic to all the nasty places where she has clearly just cut herself open. Like it's pretty obvious at a glance that this was her fingernails.
Jesus.
I had to break down the door. Proverbially. Kind of glances over at it.
He'll sit down slowly. She's never done this before. It's been idle scratching, yes, but...
It must have been a very bad nightmare. She was screaming.
Rubs the back of his head. We ran into one of those spider things again. I thought she'd be fine, but... I shouldn't have left her on her own.
Again, Ambrose is not here to judge. He gives a kind of a gentle shrug and continues. Like, it's just a constant process, and he's, for what it's worth, being very gentle about the process of, like, he'll actually tip her head around a little bit so that he can get at one of the scratches, like, well up under her jawline. But he is just lathering the stuff on. I will heal.
No, when we came back, you kind of think I could cleanse her as well, which could maybe ease some of it off. I don't know. This is... Kind of rubs the back of his head.
You have not?
I don't think he cleansed. I don't think I cleansed her and me when we came back, did I?
No, I don't think you did.
Don't remember doing it. He'll just nod. It might help.
Again, just that shrug of like, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll do a rite of cleansing. If fuck it. Every little helps, right?
I'm going to be an asshole and have you roll. What does one generally roll to keep concentration?
I do have the concentration merit.
Oh, well then, lucky you. You do not completely fudge it halfway through. Like, you go, you get your things, you're doing all that. And while you are doing the process, Anton doesn't budge. He doesn't seem to be especially bothered by you flailing a smoldering stick around. But he does at one point carefully like pull one of her arms out from under the blanket and start treating that as well. And yeah, it's more of the same. It is nasty, like bright red trails from lighter scratching and then a lot of cuts. Not deep enough to be like a threat to like veins and arteries, but
it's just deep. Yeah, it's just deep
bad
and nasty.
And it's all over.
Yeah, okay. He'll kind of nod to himself. He figures he'll do the rite of cleansing. If you need me to, I think I have to roll for it, don't I?
You do. It's Wits Rituals, Div 7.
Wits? Oh, same dice pool anyway. I don't know what my diff is, but I hope it's 5.
It's Div 7 for rights as a default.
I'll spend willpower if I can, because I don't want to
I'll let you.
botch of why the cleansing. Yeah, I'll spend willpower and get 1. Oh Jesus. Whew, my brain.
Yeah. You spend the willpower. We'll say that you get halfway through and kind of buckle down on it a little harder. Maybe you got a little distracted and decide to really focus partway through.
He'll nod once it's done at Ambrose. It might help, but he'll give a soft shrug like Ambrose is doing.
She will not wake up until you decide you want her to wake up. Kind of you get that glance from under the heavy brow, like, oh yeah, I went that heavy.
Rub the back of his head. What I might do is I might do another rite, another cleansing, just to be double sure later that the wounds heal a bit more, so she doesn't start flailing and panicking. You know.
You could do this.
Then when we reintroduce her awake, the first face she's going to see is mine, so we might be able to control the wake up. If not, we could be doing this, restitching these wounds again and again, and she flails around dramatically.
It's up to you. And he finally, kind of, pulls out the second arm and just with the palm that has the better part of it. At this point, he just, rubs the two palms together and is, moving them up and down her lower arms where she's been scratching. She obviously, she didn't get too much around her upper arm. It's mostly around the lower arms, places that are easier to reach, her face, her neck. Some around the shoulders. If there's more, you're not seeing it.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Not like this, no.
I'm going to roll my ancestors.
Okay.
What Anton is looking for is people like Heidi experiencing similar cases of trauma when dealing with the things that he's faced, essentially. And is there any type of preferential treatment they get, or is there any type of specialist treatment? Considering that this isn't your basic, super, it's a big monster. No, it's supernatural. So his thought is there a special way I can do it, or am I just dealing with a straight mental illness problem? I get 1 success.
1 is enough. You sit back and you really do. You actually, this time on purpose, reach out, trying to find that link, that connection to the people that came before you. And it's not like the knife's face that comes forward or anything like that. It's just, of a sudden, it's like you're accessing memories you've never personally experienced. And go figure, it's Shadowlord Purebreed you're tapping into. There are a lot of fucking examples of heinous trauma. Admittedly, many of the things that you're accessing involve how to manipulate or abuse it.
Yeah.
But there are some examples of flashes of experience of trying to calm someone in the midst of an outburst.
Okay. Nods to himself.
But it doesn't, you're not seeing anything that's the easy magical fix. It's
more of what's the standard procedure he's kind of looking for, if you get me. Not the magic fix, but what do you typically do? What's the step by step? You know what I mean? Almost like a treatment guide, essentially, that you see some psychiatric places would have.
Yeah. How much time are you going to sit and really mull back through these memories?
I'll spend about an hour, because if we've got time. We've got time. That's the thing he's thinking, and he'll do then another rite. So he'll spend the hour mulling back.
Yeah. Well, over the course of an hour, again, it's like trying to filter through memories that you have forgotten, trying to remember things you saw when you were a kid, things like that. It takes a little doing, but with that kind of time dedication, you'll be able to remember multiple instances of working with a particular man or woman. And much of it is just removing the sense of a threat, talking them through, as the outbursts get more controlled, or what you've seen with Heidi before, where you could calm her down with cream and stuff. The kind of things that you've been doing are great for low-key, triggered moments and attacks, but
Mm-hmm.
in the case of more intense ones, the best you can do is usually it comes down to emulating as if you're in the moment with them and walking them through a better solution to whatever it is they're reliving.
Perfect. So once he comes a bit more prepared, I'll roll again for another rite of cleansing.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, I'm spending willpower. My God, Discord. My fucking God. Yeah, that would have been 2 botches in a row, but no. I'll spend a
No,
willpower. Fuck you.
I
Fuck
will
you
let you
guys.
do it belatedly. I don't give a shit.
So he does it again, and then he'll turn to Ambrose. All right. Wake her up. And he'll position himself so the first face Heidi sees is his.
How exactly is he positioning himself? And he can move her around. She's still in
Yeah.
like her little night clothes, so
He'll maneuver her around to the point where when she wakes up, she is lying on Anton's chest, and all she has to do is just look up, and she'll feel Anton's heartbeat the second she wakes. And the way he's angling her, so she's looking right more or less at him. So he'll get into the bed with her, essentially.
and you get in and you pull her over, nest her half on top of you. Ambrose lets you go about it. He gets up and actually goes to retrieve what he needs. And yeah, he actually no shit ends up coming around with a goddamn hypodermic needle and a little bottle of something or another. And very carefully measures out, flicks it, and comes over and once you seem to be settled, kind of pops up the eyebrows a little bit like, you good?
He'll just nod. It's what you do in some cases of trauma. First face she needs to see is me. Technically, I'm her safe space.
He just nods. And in that case, we'll come around and shift one of her arms around so he can get at a vein. And yeah, essentially shoots her up a bit and promptly walks out of the room. Like, paying attention to the needle, paying attention to the bottle, but just kind of strides out and with a foot kind of nudges the door. The better part shut. It doesn't click anymore, but it's shut now. And let me do. Boop. So with him out in the hall and wandering off, and you can probably hear him going off to talk to Becca, poking his head outside. You hear the door. It'll take Heidi a couple seconds for, this to trickle through her system, start counteracting whatever else is in her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she starts...
You just sit there waiting patiently.
Yeah, she will come around admittedly kind of slowly, kind of groggily. She doesn't initially move, but you'll see the eyelashes kind of flutter. And finally, slowly, a hand kind of comes up and rests on Anton's chest as well.
Hey.
And finally, like the big blue eyes kind of flick up. She gives him a squeeze and then gives it kind of a squeak of pain because her arms are ragged up.
Hey. Take it easy. You're all right.
I
know.
had a bad dream.
I'm right here. All gone. See?
And it thankfully it's not like 0 to 60, but she just kind of starts crying. The eyes kind of well up, and it's not a big loud thing. It's not, at least not yet, it's not like racking sobs. It's not like it comes out of nowhere. It's just she slowly kind of dissolves.
You bury her into her chest, rubbing the back of her head, like, see? All gone. All gone. You're safe.
And yeah, as much as there are moments where there are hisses of pain when she wraps around him, things like that, Ambrose did not take time enough to go and wrap her arms up or anything yet. So there will be moments where like she like wraps an arm around him and there's, just pressure or friction on a number of admittedly shallow cuts, and it hurts. She cries about it, and she's scared and she cries about it. But yeah, she curls up into his chest and just cries.
Yeah, he lets her go right through it. Just being right there, he'll take the time, he'll take the process, and essentially ride it out with her.
And once your shirt is thoroughly coated in tears and runny nose,
Tears, snot, and yeah, I know, yeah.
it's so graceful. She eventually starts kind of running out of steam. There will be a point where it gets to like makes her little body like kind of shake with the force of it, but especially as long as he stays chill and he stays calm and he just holds her in, she eventually just kind of runs out of steam. Face like hidden in his shirt.
He does. He stays all the way through it till she eventually essentially runs out of the energy, and then we'll say very, very calmly, "See, all safe."
It was it was my dad.
Which?
And like there's a lot of pauses for like snuffling and like that involuntary hitching breath that makes it very hard to talk. So a couple times she has to kind of hitch it in, and then at my house.
Rubs the back of her head. It's okay. I took care of it. Kept you safe. You'll see him again.
She does not look especially convinced. The breath hitching is getting worse. She doesn't have the energy for a full ball again, but
just rubs the back of her head. You leave it to me and I'll take care of it. I'll make sure he's buried. Okay?
It's another small nod and a very tight cling. And another hiss of pain in response to the tight cling.
Come on. Let's get your wounds bound up. Okay?
It's a very, again, it's a very sedate nod.
Then we're going to get a shower. And then we're going to change our clothes. And we're going to relax. Okay?
More gentle, very, very, very short nods.
Now, he'll carefully fold out of the bed and extend his hand, because he knows if he leaves that room, she's going to have another fucking panic attack. So he'll just bring her along with him.
Yeah. For what it's worth, even like just getting out of the bed first initially, she clings pretty fucking hard. He's able to transition it down to holding onto his arm and following him up, but distance is not okay. And she'll end up shakily, like, getting pulled and guided out of the bed.
Sits her down on the kitchen table, on chairs, and he'll just grab the med kit. And I got medicine too. I reckon I can make a fair decent bandaging,
Yeah. And for what it's worth, Ambrose is still in the vicinity. And anything that isn't in that little kit will end up on the table.
And he'll take the time very carefully, very calmly, just wrapping the bandages or plasters or whatever, whatever is needed. You know what I mean? Probably
Yep.
put a bit of disinfectant on the plastering as well, so it doesn't, God forbid. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's thankfully she's got a good sheen of the
Mm-hmm.
antibiotic already, and it'll probably keep anything from sticking. It's gooey, gross stuff. So
Yep.
she stays pretty sedate through the process as long as she's like really, really close. Like he can free up his hands, she'll just be
Oh,
like
he's right
right up
there. You know what
against
I
his
mean?
side.
That's the only face she can see is his at the minute. And then once that's done, he'll again keeping her incredibly close. We'll lead her to the bathroom. We'll probably have to go in there with her,
Oh
and
yeah.
we'll guide her through the process of taking a shower, being very careful about the bandages and all that sort of stuff as well. We'll guide her through that process.
Oh yeah. And again, she doesn't seem to mind. It's not like she's like, "Oh no, my
Mm-hmm.
innocent heart." No. She is far more concerned that you be close the whole time. And all things considered, since she is bandaged up from like wrist to elbow, you will probably have to help her through showering just because there's
Yeah,
only so much she
exactly.
can do without getting it wet.
Exactly. And yes, I mean he guides her through the process, keeping the bandages nice and dry, and yeah, he'll probably even wash her hair for her and everything.
I mean, he'll have to really. Again, she can't really get her
Yeah.
hands into it without dampening the bandages, and
Yep.
like the shampoo hitting the scratches around her neck will.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gets her through. I mean, he'll probably do it, guides her through the whole method himself, and does the whole thing. And nice, but he's nice and calm. That's the most important point.
It does help, and she stays pretty, like again, very clingy, but low key. But yeah, she doesn't seem to mind.
And
Go
when
through, get her showered, get her cleaned up.
he'll carefully dry her and all that sort of stuff. By this point, he's like just in a t-shirt and like jeans. You know what I mean? Because I imagine he's trying to minimize his own soakage.
Yep.
Um, but he'll guide her back out very carefully. After probably, I imagine Ambrose tag teamed him and handed him like a change of clothes for her and all that.
Oh yeah.
And he'll carefully help her put it on with the bandages as well.
All things considered, Ambrose produces like one of those little sundresses that Anton got for her because it's the easiest thing to just pull
Yeah,
over
he'll
her head
just
and be done
like,
with.
yeah, he'll give her the thumbs up, like, oh my man, you know what I mean? Um, Guide her back in, and just, he'll gently bring her outside and sit her down on the porch because it's always good to get air out in these things. And just not condense her, and he'll sit her down so she's right beside him.
For what it's worth, you also see Becca moving around at one point. She like as you're heading out of the shower and guiding Heidi down, you see Becca kind of strutting out of the guest room with like the Watto sheets.
He'll sit her down very carefully on the step. Just stay right there. See? All done.
Yep, and there's sedate nodding. Occasionally a brush at her legs as though not scratching, not like itching, but kind of brushing as though trying to brush something off. But she doesn't have another really nasty episode, at least not in the moment. She's still actually you said your medicine. Give me perception medicine for fun.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Wow. 5 successes.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably been around people who've done any number of this or that kind of drug. I mean, you can tell it's in how dilated her pupils are. It's in the way
Mm-hmm.
that she moves. Like the the drug is being counteracted by whatever Ambrose gave her in that shot, but
Side
she's
effects, yeah.
still, reasonably sedated. It's going to take time to work completely out of her system.
That's fine. He'll just let her kind of, it's almost good. Then what he'll do is Ambrose will again be the tag team. Water. It's usually the best thing to keep her hydrated as well. So they'll be encouraging sips, encouraging things, and just essentially let her decompress while the drug works through her body.
Yep. It's, he will figure it out. Leave a glass of water out. Set it nearby. So that, Anton can snag it up and encourage her to drink it. And it's one of those things where, all in all, she's very sedate and reasonably peaceful. But it's still definitely hard. Like, the little sundress has like little shoulder straps, You can see all of the angry, like, irritated skin, all the cuts around her neck and all that.
He keeps calm but doesn't break anything to give her an alarm, and he'll just say very calmly, like, see, all better.
It's more of the very just light, sedate nodding. It's better. Like, if he doesn't stop her at some point, he's essentially going to end up sitting on the front steps and probably have Heidi, like, kind of curled up in his lap almost.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's very much comfort seeking. It's not anything other than that.
Oh yeah, no, lets her ride it out whatever way she needs to, and just is that kind of quiet sentinel of safety.
Yeah, for what it's worth, for the whole process, as long as he is close, she's fine. The less a connection they have, if it gets to a point where it's just like a handhold as he's stretching out for something, the grip gets really tight, but all in all, she stays pretty sedate.
All right. Okay. Do you think we can eat something?
There's a mild nod.
All right. Helps her back up and goes to make the most basic ass of shit, but keeps her like right there. You know what I mean?
Again, you go into the kitchen, and as soon as, like, with Heidi that close, it's hard to do much of anything besides like a bowl of cereal or something. But Ambrose will eventually wander in when he hears you bumping around in there. It gives you an extra pair of hands that are not.
Yeah. It'd be like cereal and toast and something extremely basic.
Yep. Ambrose will provide you a pair of hands that are not wrapped up around a little blonde girl. And eventually just hand you the stuff. Better yet, we'll probably leave it on the table so you can just get her there.
Guides her down very slowly, sits down beside her, and just lets her slowly begin to eat, you know?
She doesn't, for what it's worth, show a lot of interest in it, but she will, kind of passively, obediently, just kind of eats it because it's there and you want her to. She doesn't, like, suddenly get ravenous or anything. She just kind of does the thing because that's what we're doing now.
Now, this is where he's going to manipulate it in a very subtle way. He'll lean over and go, Heidi, when you have a bad dream, remember all these steps we just did?
There's a very small nod.
Whenever you have a bad dream, I want you to follow these steps from now on. Because that's what's going to make you safe. And that way, I can help you make you safe even better. Because now you follow the steps, which means now I can focus on keeping you extra safe.
There's a processing moment. She even kind of like licks her lips for a second, but not in just easy acceptance.
And I'm going to roll manipulation expression on her.
Do it.
6 plus pure breed. Oh, Jesus. He'll lean again and keep hold of her hand. And from now on, before you go to sleep, I want you to ring me. Doesn't matter what it is, I want you to ring me. If I do not answer 3 times, you're to go to Becca immediately and tell her you're about to go to sleep. That way you are safe, And that way I know you're going to be safe because Becca will ring me again. I got a good roll.
You did. And she's nodding, but like the idea of needing to even ring you, like she's latched again a bit. Like you can feel like as you say ring, you just ring me this many times, and she's nodding and she's accepting. But like you can feel the little fingers like knot up in your shirt, like grasping
That's
at it.
only if I have to. He'll point with his finger, check on Susie, or check on my family, or have to do something. Those 3 times are the exceptions that I won't be there. Okay?
There's a very weak, not especially pleased, but weak nod of understanding.
Otherwise, I'm here all the time, Squeeze. Keeping you safe.
Again, she's gone pretty voiceless for the moment. Just more sedate nodding. Especially as she's squeezed in. It gives her a little bit more energy.
You kind of lie back on the chair, kind of letting her just keeping it peaceful, but giving himself kind of room to collect himself as well.
Yeah, she continues to go through what are many years practice kind of automated motions as far as eating goes. And she does. She eats all of it.
Okay, Heidi. Do you think you can go back to sleep again? Because I imagine this is taking a fucking hot minute.
It has. It has. It's admittedly still early in the day, but she looks back and finally let's see how Heidi's doing. Average is that. That's pretty good. She glances over, and I will let you peony her as she gives again a weak nod.
Free.
Like she looks a little watery eyed again, like she's scared.
Hey, no. Right here. You don't have to go to sleep yet. I'm just asking. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You just relax. He'll eventually, because he's probably going to need to talk to Becca anyway. So what he'll do is he'll just keep Heidi beside him. You know what I mean? She'll eventually tire herself out that she might actually just fall asleep on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he'll just go back to sitting outside and wait for Becca to essentially appear, even lighting a cigarette. But like Heidi is permanent latch. You know what I mean?
She is.
So he'll wait for Becca to appear eventually, just sitting there, like letting her almost tire herself out. If you get me, for poor out Heidi.
Yes. So she remains sedately just like lamprey attached to your side, and you sit there and you're able to have a smoke pretty freely. You know, you have an arm free. She's got one of them. You're one armed now. But yeah, sooner or later, especially if you guys are sitting off to the side, like Becca will either come she'll actually eventually reappear from the garage, sauntering back.
Benson just rubs his face. I imagine she's walking right up towards him.
I mean, yeah. Admittedly more towards the door, though she does spare a glance. Like kind of a concerned flick of the eyes and knit of the brow, but
I mean, she just Anton looks tired. Because I imagine, why he may
have a hell of a night last night.
Yeah, and dealing with that level of emotional trauma while trying to keep it all calm and his own emotions, Anton looks tired. Looks very tired.
kind of pauses, does the whole like lick her teeth under her lips type thing. The arms kind of come up into the very, well, it's a very Becca like default is to have the arms crossed in front of her chest. Gonna fall asleep on the porch?
Maybe.
The eyebrow quirks.
We're not quite used to getting back into bed yet, so outside is nice.
You want I should set up the couch?
He'll shake his head. Gotta keep awake.
He looks at you, looks down at Heidi, looks back at you, shrugs.
Thank you, though.
Kind of finally gestures to your cigarette. You want something stronger?
Nods weakly. Like, yeah, that'd be nice.
Yep, she nods and goes ahead and trots up the steps inside and returns in a pretty reasonable little amount of time with a joint and a lighter.
Puts it in his mouth and will light it. Kind of looks over at her. Are you alright? That's a no.
Shrugs. Damnedest
What's
thing I've
wrong?
ever seen. Oh, I'm the one that muscled open the door.
Not surprised.
And actually, you know what? Honestly, she's probably got like an idle, like, you know, like that one stray scratch on her cheek type thing. Because after all, it's not like Heidi was aiming or really trying to get anyone else.
I mean, if she's sitting down beside him, he'll like extend the hand, you know, the hand that is not lamprey, kind of like touch the side of Becca's face.
Yeah, she's stood at the base of the steps or like off to the side of the steps. So she's essentially stood beside where you're sitting. Looks a glance over. The one that pinned her down too.
Yeah.
Kind of cranes a glance over to Heidi. Heidi's not really involving herself. Barely acknowledging that Becca is there, honestly. Doubt she remembers, though.
She probably won't. But you okay?
Again, she heaves a shrug, pulls out her own cigarette. Like I said, damnedest shit I ever seen. But, be fine.
Will you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You sure?
Oh, yeah.
Or are you just pretending to be the big tough person, like I am at the minute?
She kind of sizes him up for a second, takes a glance aside, looks him up and down. I think I'm doing better at it than you.
To be fair, I had a busy, other busy night just before this.
Yeah.
So, kind of caught off guard a bit.
Any idea what set her off?
We found her dad.
Yeah? I'm gonna guess not alive.
Depends on your point of being alive.
Are we getting back into monster shit? Kind of like the eye roll over and a bit of a squint.
Nods.
Fuck.
I'm gonna need you to come with me.
Yeah, she billows out a lungful of smoke through her nose.
Problem is, you gesture at Heidi.
What's your koala status? Yeah.
we might have to give her another dose to see if she actually can sleep properly without, gestures down the bandages.
Yeah. Probably don't
Although,
want to dose her up again too soon. Not with something that heavy, though.
no, something light. We'll let it get out of her system first.
You seem more gauging. Again, she's got a lot of lip action going when she thinks, so it's it purses for a second, and then the tongue running over the teeth again. Glance towards the window. I'll talk to Dad.
Just, if she's rapidly scratching those bandages, she needs to heal herself, otherwise she'll do some serious damage. Only
Yeah.
concern. So, maybe a light sedation and something that we can just manage. I don't want to do it, but we don't really have a choice, do we?
Not if you want to go anywhere today, looks like. Not good to keep her on it long term, though.
No, this is just something that needs to be done. For her sake.
Oh, BRB, I've got a knock. That man wanted to talk at length.
Bleh.
Bleh. Okay. Remind me what the fuck was even happening.
Talking about what they could do with Heidi if they need to move out today or not. You know what I mean?
Yes. Trying to remember the note I stopped on. I had it for a hot minute, but that went on way too long.
I think she was looking over. She mentioned she's going to talk to her dad about it. That was the last thing she said.
Yeah. I want to say he was checking on her and giving her a rough time.
He was just checking on her, yeah. He was giving her kind of a rough... I wouldn't say giving her a rough time, but kind of checking on her to see how she is herself, like.
Well, I will summarize in allowing you a P&E.
Sure.
It's a thing you can do.
Sure, P&E.
If she is having any sort of issues, she has it on mega lockdown. I mean, she looks... You can see the faint tinge of, like, concern about Heidi. Not because, like, they're especially close or anything, just because Jesus. But, for what it's worth, she is definitely, especially with Heidi kind of spaced and clinging, but just kind of in her own little world there. She doesn't seem to have any issue just talking like she's not there at all. Thus, the way the conversation's going. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll talk to Dad.
You don't have to put on the front with me.
Like I said,
I get it. You've got it under control.
It was a
I
damn
get it.
shit.
You got it locked down. You got it locked down pretty tight, but you don't have to in front of me.
Takes another, like, puff off the cigarette. What you want me to do? Have a cry about it?
Whatever you need to do. You don't have to have a cry about it. If you don't want to cry, don't cry. But that was horrifying for you just as much as it was for her. You don't always have to bottle it all in.
Let's just call it even at taking steps. So I don't have to do it again.
Yeah. I know.
There's another, like, kind of measuring glance. Or at the fact that Heidi is, like, again, she's, like, wrapped up his arm and is hugging it. She's not, like, dragging or clinging so much as she's just hugging it and staying close. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something if you want to go back out there. You gonna be awake for it?
Probably.
Kind of gives him a tap on the cheek.
I'll get you to drive. I'll sleep in the car on the way. Wake me when we arrive, type thing.
That far out?
It's pretty far.
Gotcha. They're gonna be more creepy crawlies?
Bring a gun. Bring a gun.
Great.
Take the sun off.
Take the what?
I won't need it. The sun off. The shotgun.
Yeah. Fuck it. Sure.
I won't need it.
You get that moment of side eye. Bet you won't. Yeah, she turns and starts to saunter up the steps. Flicks the butt of the cigarette as she's walking in.
Just sits there waiting, staring out. Checks his phone. He does check his phone. We'll periodically update Suzy Q as well. Just made the Heidi had a bit of a we had a bit of a bad reaction and everything's fine. It's just don't want to leave her on her own at the minute. She's a bit tender, but he keeps her updated. Like he said he would.
Yeah, it'll be a bit before she's responding back comprehensively. And even then, Like she'll send at least one brief selfie with her hair all fucking akimbo, like kind of squinting out of one eye, like, you need me to go there?
He'll send back a selfie, basically a picture of him and Heidi kind of just sit there. He'll just go, nah, we're good.
At which point she replies with, okay, I'm gonna go puke again, essentially.
Yeah, he'll just say, you stay in for the day and just take it easy. That is an order, angry face.
Just like hits the little like doop. So you have a bit of an exchange, and eventually Becca will finally saunter back out. She's changed. And she'll do so with a glass in her hand. Looks like fucking, I don't know, orange juice. And just walks down, kind of pitches him a look, and just sets it offside where he can reach it when he wants to, but kind of jerks her nose towards Heidi, like when she's ready for a nap. You give her that.
All right.
Julie would just relight your fucking joint for you because they don't really just stay going.
Nope.
Actually hold up the lighter for him since he's only got one hand to work with.
Mm-hmm.
You need anything else? You want me to go load up the car?
I don't mind the company.
Oh? She comes around and kind of props her butt against the side of the porch.
Even if you're, totally fine and all that. Smirks.
Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what else you expect.
Nothing. Kind of. I don't know. We've been rolling around together for a while now, so.
They're rolling around and get a smirk.
Smirks back. Thought we could at least be honest with each other.
It sucked. And finally goes digging out another cigarette.
It did. I imagine.
Had to happen.
Just make it alright, though, on you.
Finally takes a drag when she's got it lit. Puffs it out. Seen worse, Anton. It wasn't good, but I've seen worse.
So? Think I haven't? Just because you've seen more creepier shit doesn't mean that the shit you're seeing right now is alright. Just means you're getting used to it. Still doesn't make it okay to look at.
I definitely would have opted out, given a chance to just make that not happen. But, shrugs.
Yeah, well. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of like what I feel like we're about to do gotta happen.
He's dead.
Hmm?
The dad. I put enough shotgun rounds into his chest that thing will never get up again.
Yeah, but was it the only thing there?
Probably not. I saw something in the tree line.
I didn't figure we were going up for feels.
No, we're gonna go get rid of the house itself.
Yeah?
We have to. We have to.
She finally,
The way-
looks a little startled, kind of glances around, what?
The way these things work. It's like an infection. We gotta purge it.
What you're saying is I need to load up gasoline.
Yeah. We're going to have to control the fire, though, because it's in a woodland area. But there is a lake, so it's not that bad. But we're going to need to be careful. Now, if I tell you to back off and don't do anything, you back off, right?
Shrugs.
Because there's going to be some shit that only I can handle. Because I can turn into a 9-foot death machine.
Yeah, I noticed that about you.
Now, the big one, you gesture at Heidi, that took her is dead. So this is obviously an after effect. It was making them. So, worst comes to worst, you cover my back while I pin it.
All right.
And just be ready.
All right.
You'll edge the glass over and just say, come on, Heidi, now. You drink that. Nice and easy.
Then, yeah. She stirs up a little bit. Then, very trustingly, just takes it and starts sipping on it. Just kind of, nursing the contents of the glass. Again, not especially interested in it. Just like, oh, this is what I need to do now. And she looks pretty out of it already. So whatever has been put in there, yeah, she sits there and is drinking on it. Becca will hop up while she's doing that, lean herself back up and go sauntering into the garage. She will, for what it's worth, kind of grumble and stomp out her cigarette before she goes in and retrieves a couple, big canisters of gasoline. Starts loading them into the back of the Jeep. But yeah, before too terribly long, Heidi is, you can recognize that she's nestled up again, the eyes have closed, and before too long, she'll be dozing again.
Hefts her up almost immediately and puts her back in her bed, tucks her in very carefully. Waits till she properly falls asleep and everything.
Oh, yeah. You pick her up and there's mild stirring, even though you'll hoist her up pretty quick after she seems to be out. And she stirs a little bit, but she conks right back out. As long as you're, laying next to her, she doesn't even really put up much of a fight before she is out cold.
Yes. So, once they're out cold, wraps her up, tucks her up very carefully, walks back out towards the car, hands in pockets, if you get me.
Yep. You do see, you bring her in, tuck her in. Ambrose is keeping an eye from the living room. He's got a book, but he glances up. Then as you walk back out, gives you a bit of a nod. And, doesn't even, put a bookmark in, just kind of folds the book around his finger, gets up and starts sauntering that way.
He'll look over his shoulder. I'm taking Becca with me. There's something we need to do. She'll be safe.
As long as you bring her back. And
I'll bring her back.
Nods and then yeah, as you're heading out the front door, he's coming around into Heidi's room. He actually pauses in the hallway to snag a chair, a stool. And just hooks it up, heads in there.
Yes. So she climbs in the car, you know what I mean? Lets Becca drive. He'll sleep till they get there. Till she nudges them. You give her directions, and then he'll sleep till she nudges them awake about a few meters away. Till they're outside that gateway again.
Yeah, you get her some decent directions. She looks at you like you're fucking serious, but yeah, you'll note that she's not even hiding the gun. It's just pitched in the back, more than one. And yeah, she'll take off driving, let you conk out. And you'll be getting a bit of a shake-a as she's pulling up towards that driveway.
And he'll blink, eyes open.
And considering you started early, well, yeah, pretty early morning. It's still, good, strong sunlight, midday.
Beautiful. So he opens his eyes and rubs his face. Yep. All right. She gave me some advice. Don't stray off the path.
What?
Points at the pathway up to the house. Don't stray off the path.
All right. Sure. Fuck it.
Might get. I'm assuming the reason why she said that is there's long grass, right?
Oh, yeah.
Points. Look at that.
Looks like grass, Anton.
It's called long grass, Becca. Do you ever set up an ambush for anybody?
Not in the boonies, no.
You use the long grass so nobody knows you're coming. You can't see nothing but grass, so if you're an animal or something like that that takes its prey by ambushing, how fucking easy is it to get somebody?
Yeah, I gotcha. I gotcha. How you planning to fucking just douse the house from the inside? We can't go off the path? Kind of shoot
Douse
you
the
that
house
little
from the
skeptical look.
Would douse the house from the insides, and sometimes the best way to draw out something is to burn it out. It heard the gunshot, so it's going to ruffle around. We light a small fire in the grass itself, on the outskirts. It's going to come running. We wait.
I thought you wanted a controlled fire. You gonna light the grass?
Not yet. That's the last option I want to do. If it comes to that, we'll light the grass. If not, we're going to light it from the inside.
All right. All right. And
Just-
yeah, she finally pops the car door.
He'll tug on his necklace, and fuck it, I'm going to spend the Gnosis to activate my fetish, because I think
You
he can
do?
do that.
You can.
Yeah, so I'm going to spend the Gnosis for it, because fuck it.
Because fuck it. Yeah, for what it's
I don't
worth,
want to fandangle around.
she hops out, reaches in the window, grabs the fucking shotgun with one hand, sawed off shoddy, snags one of the big canisters of gasoline with the other.
He'll walk out as well, keeping his eye out.
So what you doing there, buddy?
Watching that fucking horizon. You know what I mean? The grass itself as they're walking up to the house, watching like a hawk.
Give me some
Probably
alertness.
even rolling some prime. Probably even, well, I was going to say alertness first, and then I'll probably pop some prime alert as well to see if I can sense anything. I get 2.
Okay. Give me the primal urge while you're at it.
Yay. Get 2 extra dice, so that's 6. 3. 9 out of 10. Ooh.
All right. As far as the grass goes, there is idle ambient motion. Nothing that's really sticking out. Nothing that looks like, nothing's coming right for you.
Yeah, nothing's starting to react. Yeah.
Primal urge wise, the place just kind of smells. It's almost like the air is even heavy. It just kind of feels fucked up and smells bad. It's like, it's not like it stinks. It's almost kind of like, if you had to compare it to something, it's almost like that musty basement smell. Like, kind of.
I'm a pop a sense worm, actually, if that's okay.
Do it.
Oh, wow. Jesus, that was a really good
Oh,
roll.
God. This place is fucking horrible.
Is it like all over the house, or is it like one concentrated area, just so I can have a scope of this?
I'll give you with that many successes that it doesn't necessarily seem like the house itself per se. Like, there are places where it's clinging nasty. Like, much of it is the crawl space. Like that area under the floor.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, he'll even mutter that as he's looking down.
What?
The crawl space.
Gross.
I can smell it.
Gross.
So, we're gonna get in the house, and I'm gonna do something. This might provoke a reaction. Depending. If it smells that bad, he kind of winces like, oh. Just get the gun ready as he's walking. Picks up an idle fucking stick from the grass as he's walking as well.
Alrighty.
If I'm going to get close to that crawl space, not get in it because I'm not stupid.
So here's a question for you. What exactly are you doing? Because there is a nice little footpath that leads up to the front door, like up to the porch.
Yep.
You do know that there is a back porch. How are you getting at the crawl space? Are you just walking along?
Where exactly is? Yeah, walking alongside the house. Fuck it. Easiest way to do it.
All right.
Keeping an eye, because I don't want something to fucking leap out and grab me as well. So I'm keeping an eye.
So give me... Well, let me roll this first. Okay, give me an alertness check as you're picking around the house. And admittedly, fucking Becca is just looking at you like, yeah, stay on the path. I see how it is. Yeah, it's fine. Just drops up, sets the thing on the porch, goes for the second canister.
2.
Alright, so with 2, I will say give me a quick athletics. Yeah, so
whoa.
So what happened was you're tromping around the side of the house and you're keeping a weather eye, which saves your ass because you're going around, and man, that is a fucking bear trap. That is not even something to fuck with. That is a no shit full-size bear trap, and you managed to, like, with your foot already on its way down, kind of do the weirdest but somehow effective, like, kind of instead of putting it down, tuck it back and tumble. Like, just to the side of this thing.
I imagine Becca sees it probably. Like, woof.
Yeah, she suddenly sees you, like, do some fucking crazy ninja shit around the corner and like, leans over the edge of the porch. Like, the fuck?
Bear trap.
A fucking bear trap.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm staying on the porch.
Climbs up on the porch immediately.
Decides to backtrack. For what it's worth, as you get around that corner, tumbling around the thing, you do see, like, the crawl space access. Like, you kind of get a better glance. Like, maybe the sunlight's better from this direction, but you can see that, like, up under the porch, there is, like, one of those little access panels that you can pull out.
You probably get Becca to follow along on the porch, I imagine.
I mean, she's walking on that end of the porch, but she's not down on the ground.
He's down on the ground, so he'll point at the crawl space access. There.
So what are you going to do? Are we just going to burn this thing, or are you going in there? Because let me tell you, I'm not getting under a house with the boogeyman. I'm not starring in that horror movie.
We need to provoke it out. Looks back at the bear trap. From what I can tell, where is it rigged?
It's basically like there is like just the pleasant shrubbery and some tall grass, and like between all of like it looks like it's a cutely kept little cottage. But this is like where someone would probably try to step through the brush to step up to the house.
Beautiful.
And for what it's worth, this is a proper bear trap. So there is a big fuck off trap, but there is also a chain and there is an anchor.
Beautiful. We're going to draw it out.
And you're planning to do that how?
How do you get a fox out of its hole?
Smoke it.
Yeah.
Means you gotta find the other end of the hole, so this is the side it comes out of.
Exactly. Take a look around.
Oh.
Let's go in the house.
I'm about to say, I don't even like you. You make me looking in this fucking haunted ass shit by myself. Shoulders
Carefully climbs up the porch. Like, I imagine climbs up so he's beside her.
Yeah. She's tromping towards the door. She's hooked up one of the canisters again.
Opens the door very carefully.
I mean, there is no longer a sawed-off shoddy on the other side, so you're fine.
Yeah, he'll take a look around the house and what looks to be basement territory.
You get a walk around. It's a pretty simple cottage. Like you've got the entrance there, and then there's almost immediately a main room, a kitchen off to one side. You know, the bedrooms are attached to the hall on the other side of the living room. And you've been through to the back door, so you know at the very least there's a safe route through there and to where the door out of the kitchen is onto the back porch. There's also a door from the living room onto the back porch. It's a very long back porch.
Yeah, he'll probably do a check around the house area to see where the fuck this crawl space leads. Actually, like, you know, is there any like secondary entrances or anything? You just do a thorough check around this entire place. See, does it pop out? Does it pop out anywhere else?
Unfortunately, generally, unless it is a very, very large building, there's just like a one panel for access. But I mean, there is another porch here. The screen's been torn out where you found that blood before. But I mean, there's this wooden porch. But there doesn't seem to be another access panel in the blocks that make up the foundation.
Remind me, because I've never really seen crawl space before. I don't know if there's much of a thing here. Like, is it like a small like indent into the house, or so I know what I'm working with?
So basically, how a crawl space works is when you're building a house, first you set a foundation around it. Sometimes with support parts in, you know, places where it'll come in, but it's still basically there's a space between the bare dirt that everything is built on and the floor of the building. So there's like, it's almost like another level, but it's called a crawl space because it's short enough. It's like, let me think here. It's maybe, I'd say maybe a meter off the ground max. I want to say a meter. That's what, 3 feet, a yard, whatever have you. But yeah, it's okay. Not a lot. It's 2-3 feet tall. It's enough that you can get down in there and crawl around. You can even kind of crouch in places if the earth isn't very even. But basically, there is like a pocket between the floor of the house and the ground underneath. And the foundation holds the whole thing up and creates walls. And sometimes we'll separate it a little bit, but there's almost always entrances left so you can crawl around in there in case like you need to get to the water pipes. Maybe some of the electric is run under the floor. Maybe whatever type of heating or AC if you've got vents. Like, basically it's so people can service parts of the house, or if you get pests down there so someone can crawl around and take care of it.
Yeah. So typically, would Anton know where they typically, if there's a secondary entrance, where secondary space would be, or is this just the one thing?
It's a pretty small house, so there's probably just one place you crawl in, and if you want to get to the other side, you have to crawl across.
I'll look back at Becca. This looks like it's got one entrance in. So we light the fire, it's going to come out probably one underneath the porch. If you position yourself right with a shotgun.
Go to work. Kind of glances around. You said it was over there? So yeah, she'll start walking through the kitchen. Again, the kitchen's kind of a wreck. There was definitely a struggle in here, and she is eyeballing the shit out of it. Looking at this place like it's fucking haunted. You sure there's not anything she wants in here? Because once it's going, it's going.
He'll look around, looks at her pictures, essentially, of Heidi and her dad and all, and her parents.
Oh yeah, there are, like, once you kind of pay attention to the fact that there is a personal value to the place, yeah, there's knickknacks around hung up. There are photos, not a metric ton of them. There's like the little ones on the mantle of like a little picture of Heidi and a little picture of her dad. There is a picture of let's see, there's at least one picture of the two of them together. There is a picture of them with an unidentified woman.
Takes the two of them.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, it's still a house.
I'll go into Heidi's room.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out which one is her room.
From what I can tell, he'll look around the room looking for the most like stuff that she uses on the regular. You can normally tell when what's, you know what I mean, with a person's room.
Yes. So as far as like spotting just common sense shit, I'll give you like, oh, you see this or that. There's like a spare pair of shoes she used to wear a lot. There's maybe like, let's see. There's a number of those little woven grass animals and whatnot. They're not just in her room. There's like a larger, more convoluted design that's like in the living room, set on like one of the side tables or in the center of the coffee table. You do find things like where some little tools that she probably uses for that have been left out on like a desk. Let's see. Give me an investigation roll.
One.
That's one. You find essentially like a little bag. Looks kind of like a. I mean, it's not a backpack per se, but like a little shoulder bag that's been like dropped next to the bed.
Picks that up and brings just past, basically exchanges all. It takes probably more little figurines and exchanges all over to Becca, like just this.
All right. Yeah, she'll snag it all up and go and kind of dump it all in the Jeep. Keeping an eye once she gets out. Like, there's a pause at the door, kind of eyeballing the porch like I'm on to you.
So, once they do that, then Anton will crack his neck, almost getting ready.
All right, you want me to just light this bitch up from the other end, see if it runs out?
Pokes a finger. As he's walking outside, he'll call, yeah. As he turns the corner, I'll roll to activate Blur. Before I do anything. So it is manipulation stealth. I get 2 successes. And I will take the time to shift down to Lupus, which I imagine doesn't affect the floorboard weight greatly.
Nope.
Once Becca does that, I sit and wait in Lupus for this thing to pop.
Have you rolled stealth?
Oh, I forgot to roll stealth. Excuse me.
You can blur all day, but it does not help until you are sneaking.
+6 for Lupus, and then +3 for stealthy stealth. Don't do a great stealth check, unfortunately. I fail, but I have the blur active, so...
You can make another attempt if you want to find a better position. Maybe up on the porch is not especially sneaky. You're essentially just sitting out there.
I'll try it again. I get a bit more sneaky. Probably even try to go a bit more aerial. There we go, Jesus.
1, 2, 3, 4. And where are you nesting up? Are you like getting into the brush? Like, what are you doing?
Getting into the brush, into the long grass. So once that thing converges outwards, it'll probably converge outwards. It's gonna hit the bear trap. Actually, no. It's gonna converge out. That's when I'm gonna make my move to kind of almost what's the term? I can't remember the term you use.
Bait?
But I'm gonna bait it out. So it's gonna have to turn and it's gonna hit the bear trap. So I've positioned myself to almost at an angle, so I'll end up coming behind it, forcing it to go into the direction of the bear trap.
All right. So yeah, you finally give the go ahead, and I mean it'll take Becca a second, so you do have time to resituate yourself because she is she's got a canister of gasoline. She knows how to use it to all appearances. So she starts walking around the house. Initially, like you could swear to God she must dump almost an entire canister on like one side of the kitchen, like douses the cabinets, the dishes that are left out, all the carnage on the floor, pulls it, like she doesn't fuck around. And then with the other, she kind of leads a line around the house, going into the rooms, splashing it on the beds. Like you can hear her moving around. And she'll eventually like back out of the front door. And that is when she does the thing, which is essentially ponders it for a second, And then rather than like losing her lighter, because it's not like she has a Zippo, she can't just pitch it and have it stay lit. She pulls out a cigarette, lights that, and then just kind of drops it and books it off the porch immediately. As yeah, fire catches, that gasoline catches and it starts roaring around the house. The kitchen, like there's initially like you can hear fire spreading, like that kind of woof as it's zipping around the building, looking, clinging for something to latch onto. Thankfully, she's splashed like the beds and whatnot, and they catch really well. But when it hits the kitchen, man, there is a sudden like blast.
Boom.
Whereas from outside, seeing it dance around the rest of it as it's working its way there, like, okay, there's some fire, but there's not a lot of effect to it. When it hits the kitchen, yeah, it just there is an explosion of flame. Like, it's not going to like blast out the walls, but it like you can even see from where you are, like it billows up out of the window. There's a flume of fire and smoke. And and yeah, she gets back and takes cover behind the Jeep. And pops the shotty across the hood. And yeah, waits as fire like probably explodes even under the building. Like it's going everywhere through the vents.
Yeah.
And let's see. Let's do a thing. 1D. Well, okay. So what happens? Our It's not that one big thing comes out from under the porch.
Yep.
It's that a number of small things start, like, you can kind of hear them coming, but yeah. You remember, your best friends? Let me use this one real fast. Come on now. Your best friends. They come skittering out.
Oh yeah.
With for what it's worth, there's a good bit of smoke coming out of the basement. It's almost like those webs they used to nest are not especially fireproof.
Nope. That's when he'll probably come out and just, I mean, fuck it, I'll take Krynos. Fuck you, Spider. And just begin annihilating everything he sees. Almost trying to kite them into the bear trap as well to make enough of them so the bear trap will close.
I'm assuming that you are initially behind the bear trap, right?
Yeah.
So that when you pop out, it drives it tempts them towards it.
Yeah.
So let's
that was the plan.
See. Let us do a thing. Would you like to roll something to try to taunt them towards you? Because initially, they skitter out from all sides of the porch. Like, they're just pouring out to get away from the fire. You can roll Yep. Oh, boy.
3 successes. He just, flips up the ass and just spanks it.
That is your taunt? Apparently, spiders are not a big fan of crude gestures. I don't even know how to handle this.
Works. Come get the booty, boys. That's essentially what he's saying.
I'm gonna go with, they see you and you're acting like an asshole, so they're blaming you for their woes right now. And yeah, the flood of them careens towards you. We will roll some initiative.
I'm Krynos, so it's 4 plus
1 for them.
7.
Roll. Roll one for her.
Glorious.
Go with... Yeah. All right, you are definitely first. So you taunt, and let's see. Ooh, that's not what I wanted to click. How many of these assholes? Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay.
Eh.
So yeah, you get your taunt off. Most of them immediately veer over. If only because one of them is like this motherfucker, and the rest are just kind of following the flow. They veer around and start clattering your way. Naturally, Leader Boy hits the bear trap, and almost immediately it snaps up, and oh yeah, there's just this glowy green goo everywhere. It's very unfortunate.
And I was like,
This
yeah, bitch.
does not stop the others from coming on, however. So, first move's on
Beautiful.
you, buddy.
Spend for rage.
Okay.
Swiggity swooty. I hit them like a hurricane.
Yeah, you do.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Chrono strength is 7. 2 for the Chrono clones. Plus that many. Like a hurricane.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is another spider. Feel free to narrate how you just demolish one of these in one swipe.
So it comes, the leader boy gets, you know what I mean? All the other spiders start to feel really brave, and next thing you know, he just uppercuts with that Crino's claw and probably just obliterates it. Like,
oh yeah, there's another. Now there's glowy goo on your fingers. Delightful.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like the exoskeleton cracks open, and yeah, you just swipe up and demolish one in a single go. And then, hilariously, it's time for some comedy gold.
Pew, pew.
I mean, it's not pew so much as spray and pray, really, with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
It's, yeah. With you having the aggro at the moment, this psycho comes around the side of the car because a sawed-off isn't going to get the kind of range that a normal one would. And, she just, chunk chunk and pow.
End up shooting me.
We'll give her about a pull like that. Only need so good a pull with the shotgun. Oh no, she sprays just short of you. Like pellets whiz by just on the other side of that trap, but let's see. So it is 8 is default for a shotgun, isn't it?
Yup. Shotguns are nasty.
They are. That's 1, 2, 3, 4,
good roll.
5. She sprays in, and basically what I'm going to do is, because I know there's a pretty broad spray, especially for a sawed-off shotgun, they get peppered. Several of them now have, like, that spray has hit them. There are many that are marked with, like, glowing green blah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like, what I'm going to let you do, because these are, I mean, they have a normal health pool, essentially. But
yes,
if you hit and you do more damage than they have health, I will let the damage go off into the next one because they are swarming on you.
Okay.
So for their turn. Da-na-na. Boop.
Come on. Hit me, bro. Do it.
Coming at you.
Fucking do it.
Coming at you. A couple of them gonna bite you. Their little mandibles. So, give them a pull about like this. Actually, you know what? You're a big kid. Well, no, there's multiple. All right. That is a hit.
Not the greatest.
So,
Do it. Hurt me.
ugh. You're a little too excited. I need you to calm down, sir. So, we will do. They're not that big, so we'll do this first. You took me 1 lethal, and then I want you to roll a stam check.
1 lethal soaked.
Okay?
Yeah.
You've got a 10. Yep, you're good. Another one's gonna bite you. Only so many can move so fast. The others are kind of agitated. So, let's do these guys. This other dude. First, these. For the bite. It is 2 successes. And then 3, 4. Took me no lethal.
Okay.
But it was technically a successful bite, even though it's not doing damage. So I'll say, give me that stam check again. Aha!
10 again. Got 10. God. Oh, no. Forgot it's not soak.
It is not a soak. You will take me another point of bashing.
Peh. Peh.
Actually, I will say soak it, and it's lethal. Because why not?
Good. Now I'm angry and I get more rage and I have a rage action. Good. Pain. But yeah, my rage action, then I'll sweep and swipe and kill.
Murder.
2. So,
Do it. Do it to it.
One, 2, 3, 4.
And let me start keeping track. Go fast. Dead. Ooh. But
I get it.
all right, give me 1 second. All right. You said 4?
4, yep. Poor ag.
All right. These guys are admittedly
Actually, no. Actually, sorry. 5. That's 5.
5 egg. All
5
right.
ag. Yep.
And we'll give them a soak about like so. Ain't that big, Jesus. So that guy is on
Jesus.
4.
Okay.
And it is your action again.
I will drop a rage and I will roll to heal myself.
Do it.
Oh, sadly, it's just a fail because I think the diff is 8, isn't it?
Yes.
It is, yeah. I know I took a lethal, so it's not that bad. I rolled for thingy and swiggity swooty. Get 1. That's all I need. Another 3 lethal to that one I already smacked.
All right, narrate it.
Again, takes the chunk, growls, hits it. It kind of backpedals, cracks his neck, and bam. You know what I mean? Like perfect, like almost like he's boxing essentially with the claw.
Hot. Yep. Give that thing a good smoosh. And now it is Becca who will fire the other round out of that thing. Because, man, she is not loving this giant spider foo. That is another... That is 1, 2, 3. Not the best roll. So we will put each of these guys. That is
How many are left, by
straight
the way?
again.
Because I know 3 have been dropped.
You have dropped 2. She has injured 3 more, spraying them with the fucking sawed off. She has not killed them because basically the damage is kind of dispersed.
Yeah. So how many are we talking? Because I
Actually,
know I've got 2, definitely.
Let's go 2, 2, and that last guy is kind of fucked. All right. So basically you've got 3 that are still fine. You've got 2 that have been peppered, and you've got 1 that's barely hanging on to life. You've got 1 that's just kind of squirming on the ground. It's not doing much.
Okay.
So through those 3 healthy ones, we're going to try and get you. They're still moving fast enough. So, Chucklefuck number 1 is going to bite. And he is going to... You don't need to.
He botches.
He
Jesus
botches.
fuck.
I'm
Okay.
trying to decide what happens when a spider botches.
Imagine he bites one of his other friends, since there's like a mass of them.
I suppose so. Sure. Let's roll him some straight damage there for lols.
Gets it.
He gets it. Thankfully, the other one does not. The other one's got a better life than he does. The other one looks at him like fucker, and there's a bit of a moment there where we'll say that while he doesn't do damage, he does distract one of the others that is reared up, probably eagerly got in front of him and got bit. And so the other one whirls around and hisses. The last one will still try to attack you. That is out of the wrong pool. Let me roll another 2 dice because I'm stupid. But still 3 successes on the attack. You may dodge if you like. Or you can hold it for an extra action.
I tried to dodge. I knocked 1 success off it.
You do. He gonna get you. Lol. Soak me too. You suck it. All right. The other 2, the 2 that are damaged but still moving, have turned around and are heading towards Becca. She is not looking thrilled about this. You will basically, because you have been envenomed, take a point of bashing. So it will take effect for your rage. Well, not your rage action. You've used that, but hilariously at the top of the turn, you wick it off, and you may also roll to wick off a point of lethal if you have any.
Okay, I'll do that. I didn't take my rage action though. Oh no, I did. I took the dodge.
You dodged.
I did. I'll try to dodge this and heal my lethal. Yay! Lethal healed. Healed my lethal.
You did. Good man. It is your action.
Blow another rage, and I'm a smack the one that tried to bite me. I botch.
Let's see. No. I mean, thankfully you're not nearly close enough to Becca to hit her. She is well away from you.
So what happens?
I will say I will give you an attempt to reflexively athletics again. Do it. Don't fail.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Great roll
so you
before
will,
that, but not. There you go.
Will not take full damage from this. Soak me 3. Oh Oh,
Good
you
champ.
lucky fucker. You swing for the sucker, and it manages to like scooch right out from under your claw. And on your follow through, man, that is in fact another bear trap. You do manage to, like, you hit the plate and it snaps, but you manage to kind of just barely slick out of it. The thing catches a bit of your arm, but with a soak pool like that, essentially you're just too leathery tough for it. It doesn't bite in the way it should, and it skims past the skin and kind of gives you a little scritchy scratch, but not even enough to be represented by damage.
Cool.
Just, you have one of those like poop yourself moments as you see a bear trap about to close on your arm.
Okay. Do this.
Are you
Hit me.
trying to remember? Do you have rage? Or are you spending rage?
I have rage. I spent my rage.
Okay.
I said that. I spent my rage.
I just wanted to make sure I did not forget.
Do
Becca is transitioning to sidearm because she is not taking a turn to reload that thing. They're coming right for me. So Becca will transition to sidearm. Same pool. Very good. Yeah, she's not fucking around, so. Yeah. Jesus. So 1, 2, 3 to this guy. So she whips out the sidearm, is backing around the car again to kind of create an obstacle, but takes a pot shot at one of them as they're coming at her. And she hits it well enough that it skims off like 2 of the legs. So it's looking a little rough. It's not moving as fast as it was. There's only one that's still coming at her with any kind of speed.
Cool. I'm ready.
And now it is your turn.
I'm gonna intercept the one coming at her, like a hurricane.
Well, Sarden, I say your turn. It is your turn to be attacked. Maybe.
Hit me.
I'm gonna hit you. Darn it. Number 1. Number 1 is taking a fuck of a shot.
Go for it.
You going for it?
Go for it. I'll tank it.
Believe in you. Took me 4.
Fuck that. So
3 of it. And do me a stam check.
On Anton.
You are beautiful.
I think I get it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. No more poison.
E.
Let's see. Second one.
Do it.
Doing it. That is 1 success. He bites you. Rah.
Boom.
Soaked.
Tanked it. Yep.
And last dude that's on you.
Jeez, there's 3 on me. Fuck.
There are.
Yep.
Yep.
Hit me.
1, 2. Math. 2. Nicely done.
Boom.
You have taken 1 whole lethal from 3 of them chewing on you. You will again, for 1 more turn, this round you'll take bashing that will affect you only for as long as your rage action, obviously.
My rage. What I'm going to do in my rage action, Katie.
Mm-hmm.
We're by a big fiery building, right?
You are in a building
And
that is
these are
being
all
slowly consumed by fire, yes.
I'm going to hit the building so the fire billows out on them in a whoosh.
Oh, boy. All right. So I'm going to have you roll a strength roll on the building as you slam it.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to get hurt by doing this, but
and then,
fuck it.
Yeah. And then...
Fuck it. No, I know.
And then bad things will happen to good people. 1, 2,
I hit
3.
it like a... Yeah.
Yeah, so you reach over and just plant a fist into the wall. It's not quite the effect you might have desired. You don't get like as much damage as you might have hoped, but you still create an air intake that is almost immediately followed by an explosion of fire slamming out, because that is what happens when you open new sources of fuel. So
Do this.
I'm going to give you a straight dex as a reflex save, essentially, to see if you can skim off some of this damage that's going to be coming at you.
No. Hit me.
Okay. I'm sorry, because I'm pretty sure fire is ag.
It is. I don't have Master Fire, sadly. So, hit me.
All right. So all of y'all are going to get hit by this as a massive tongue of fire just flash licks out, like billows out.
The good thing is, sadly, it's not all going to hit me. It's going to hit them as well. So
it
there
is.
is that.
It absolutely is.
So,
And you have a bigger soak pool than they do. Soak me. Okay, soak me to ag.
I soak one of it.
All right, so you take a point of ag. Let's see how they do. That one is okay. That one is taking one. That one is okay.
Jeez. God damn it.
On the bright side, the fire licks out. It hits that one. It doesn't just go away. Yeah. It is on fire. It's having a bad day.
Fucking hurt me more than them. I'm okay. I'm gonna heal some of that lethal, or attempt to. I do
it. You heal back a point of lethal, and the bashing wicks off.
Yeah, so I'm just on one ag, thankfully. I'm gonna blow a rage again because I can afford to.
Do it.
I'm gonna do the same again.
Get it. Oh, what? Punch the wall again?
Yep. Another one.
Oh boy. Yeah, you basically you're going to widen the hole.
Yep.
Can I assume you've gotten into a position where now that you see which direction the fire's gouting?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. What did I roll for this last one? All right. It will be more this time. More fire! Oh boy.
Whoa!
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy.
One of them is, they've been hurt as well by Becca as well, so there is that.
See, there's 3 on that one. Two on that one. And on that one. So, for what it is worth, all 3 of the ones that are close to you are now on fire. And not happy about it. So there's like horrifying, weird, like chattering noises and screeches.
Yep.
Let's see. Becca is going to fire another pot shot on her turn. Actually, what's the Benny to point blank?
Reduce diff.
Offhand. Reduce diff?
It's like, reduce diff. It's like 2. I think mine's 2.
Beautiful. That guy is pretty fucked. So with one of them having lost a couple legs and slowing down, she turns and fires at the other, and then promptly retreats again, because one is still moving half decently. One is still kind of flailing around on the ground. The one she just pot-shotted is not looking so good either. It's only slightly better than the completely crippled one. And she books it towards the back of the Jeep to keep it in the way. And now it is Spoders. The Spoders are all on fire. Spoders need to soak. So
Yeah, they
soak
do.
for that guy. He's having a bad day. He takes 2 more.
Jeez, they're not doing well.
2 more. Oh yeah, they're not looking good.
Jesus.
That one's doing slightly better.
How much hack have they on now? Because they've taken a shitload in the past couple of
They
minutes.
have.
Like, fuck.
Most of them are getting to the point where, like, 2 of them are pretty close to dead. They're not, like, even flailing around. They're not doing so hot. 2 of them are actually in really bad shape. One of them is only slightly better shape. And basically, of all the ones you have left, you still got, like, there are still 6 that are, quote, alive. You've only got 1 that's still moving with any kind of speed, and it's the one chasing Becca.
Okay. But there's none technically attacking me, is there?
Not at the moment. They're flailing around and trying to put themselves out. The one will probably, what he is going to do is as he is chasing Becca and she dips around the back of the vehicle, it's clambering up on top of the Jeep to try to get over the obstacle. But it's going for her.
Cool. I have a rage action.
You do.
He's going to, as a free action, if you let me, he's going to yell out, probably in the growly voice you'll just hear, down! You know, at Becca. You know what I mean?
All right.
Oh, that poor car. That thing's on the car. I'm going to come in like a fucking hurricane, you know, that shoulder check.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
You're hitting the whole vehicle. She's going to be so mad at you.
But
all right,
just say
feel free. You do things to her Jeep.
That's a lot of successes, Katie. That's a strength brawl. That's a lot of successes.
That is her Jeep. The side of it crunches in as though it has been T-boned by another vehicle. It tips off to the side, falling onto its side, and that little sucker that was on top, he like kind of rockets off the top, like pew.
Yeah. What am I rolling damage wise?
For him, roll your, Jesus Christ, roll your strength plus successes because it's funny. We'll see if you catch him in the process and crunch him with your entire body. You crunch him with your entire body. I'm not even rolling for that. That's disgraceful. You literally check in, you get a little air, so you come down like you drop the bow on this fucking Jeep. The little dude splatters, but half of the Jeep has caved in.
Yep. Look, man, I do my job. I was protecting. Yeah.
You hear screamed, "Are you fucking serious?" As her car is demolished.
Yeah. Comes through, you know, rips the thing to pieces. I imagine, like, he looks behind him as he probably doesn't even care. He's in, like, combat. So I'm running back to finish off the fire things, if they're not dead already.
They are not dead yet. They're not happy, but they're not dead. Number 7 is fucked, though. Number 7 is ladder.
Oh, Katie, I have a bad idea.
What is your bad idea?
I'm sorry. Can I take at least one action just to grab Heidi's little bag out of the Jeep? Because I'm going to feel so fucking awful doing this.
Yes. You may spend an action.
Okay, I'm going to pick up the Jeep and fuck it at him.
Oh my god. Yeah, you basically what you're going to do is with the door fucked off, you basically reach in, do a swipe across the back seat to spill everything out onto the ground, and then you can throw a car.
You are rolling. Am I rolling?
I guess technically like strength athletics because it's a thrown weapon, but we're not using dex for this. Oh, jeez.
I'd throw the shit out of it.
You
Even if it's a higher diff.
throw a
I throw the
car
shit out of it.
into a bunch of sadly maimed or flaming spiders. Just
I imagine it goes for the house as well. Like,
roll
whoa! You know
your
what I mean?
strength plus successes. Let's see how bad this is.
Do I get any additional damage for it being for it being in a Jeep?
Oh Jesus.
Do I?
Do
I?
Let's see what kind of
That's pretty
damage.
cool.
I feel like throwing a Jeep. That's got to be like a +8.
That's you gotta admit, that's pretty.
We'll
fucking
say
cool.
that like it's the 8s, 9s, and 10s will count as your successes for rolling damage.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
So your strength +3 +8 because you just threw a Jeep.
Yeah, you're not gonna lie, that's pretty fucking cool.
That is
old call. It's pretty baller. I mean, look at that. Look
1,
at that
2, 3,
level of
4,
damage it
5,
just did.
6, 7, 8, 9,
Holy
10,
shit.
11. You pitch this fucking Jeep to the sound of further agitated kinfolk screaming, and you kind of bowl it in there, so it pitches like it goes for a certain amount of distance in the air, but more of the damage is the fact that it starts rolling. And yeah, none of them are in good enough condition to dodge that. So it rolls along the ground, splattering fucking spiders. There is now flaming goo on the vehicle, and oh god, it hit the house. Oh god.
I will take my rage action literally to grab Becca and just turn, essentially. So I'll take the brunt of the damage.
Are you like hitting the ground, or are you just taking this damage?
I'm hitting the ground, but protecting her.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. My main objective is to protect Becca.
Okay, so you Yep, you man. Thankfully, you're a pretty good distance from the house. I'll have you roll soak for like 3-ish, just from the sheer heat wave.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Anton.
You soak. Yep. There is now a partially collapsed flaming building that is now got a flaming car in one of the walls. Becca is mushed under you and distinctly unamused. Give me one quick second. Okay, I am back. I had to explain a situation. So you now have a mildly singed, got some fur singe going on. You don't smell so good at the moment. Going on. You are planted on the ground in Krynos. Becca is under you. Still, like, you know what? I don't even, like, she is shook, but she's still yelling.
Anton turns like, he doesn't say anything, but Tony's like, I fucking did you see that shit? You know, like to himself, like, I was fucking amazing.
Just,
you know what I mean?
Wait, you like turn and she like kind of is squirming to get a look at the fucking carnage, and she's like, "My car! You threw my whole car! How are we gonna get home? You threw my car!" She actually
Melts
like
down into
points at your giant fucking muzzle.
he's melting down into Hamid, like
You catch almost immediately a good hearty fucking like the oh god on the shoulder punch.
Fuck.
You did more than total my car. You destroyed my car.
Yeah. Don't punch me there as he's like touching one of the wounds, and it's because I still have a point of ag on me, so like fuck.
Oh my god. Like I will let you, Peony, because it's funny. Man, that adrenaline has hit her so good right now, and you know what she knows how to do? Scream at you.
Hey, I rolled to activate persuasion. Kicks off. Becca,
No, what?
I saved your life. Charisma leadership. I'm rolling it. +2 for fucking natural leader. I get it. I get it. Yeah, I do. I get it.
Barely. She's a little mollified, but she's like at this point shoving you off her, like, and she's got like the both hands full extended at the wall with a crunched car in it. Like, that was my car. That was my personal car.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Look. They'll say, I saw the thing go at you. You were out of ammo. You were panicking.
Finally, kind of is getting up. The nervous energy is a thing again. Adrenaline. She's like reaching up and kind of, going like to pull back flyaways out of her face and starts pacing. Like, those were giant fucking spiders, and that was my car. How are we gonna get home?
We can ring her dad.
Out in the middle of fucking nowhere. What? Kind of looks over at him. Starts patting her pockets. Sighs in relief as her phone is in her pocket.
Pretty fucking wild, right? As he leans back on the ground, wincing a bit as he's touching his side.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty fucking badass, but that was my car.
I know.
That was my whole entire car. Like, kicks a piece of like the, where the fucking headlamp shattered, when you hit it. Like, kicks a piece of the glass from that.
Still saved your whole entire life.
I know, but I'm still mad at you. And she's pulling out her phone and typing.
Rubs the side of his head. Like side of his neck. Probably imagine that's where he got bitten.
Are you gonna die of crazy monster spider poison? Because I really would prefer you didn't.
Nah, we regenerate. It's just fuck.
I mean, it's a pretty big bitey hole. I can actually see the 2 holes. That's fucked up.
This will take a lot longer to regen. I'll probably actually need to.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the only thing he's got is the burn. Now that I think about it, he's got like a flash burn up, like essentially caressing up his arm towards his shoulder.
Because like, how do werewolves heal lag anyway?
Usually you have to. It takes like a day.
Yeah, so he'll wince.
A day out of Hamid.
I'll probably have to lay around as a wolf for a while.
Because that won't weird anyone out. Kind of side eyes.
Stay at your place. Just lie down in the little mini wolf thing.
The mini wolf. Okay, fine. I'm calling my dad. And she dials, and you hear her ranting. almost immediately. In fact, she's still, again, it's the adrenaline coursing. So she is like pacing back and forth up and down roughly the area that her car was occupying a moment ago. Like she's got one arm flailing around as she is just nattering off rapidly. Not in English. And slowly starts kind of losing steam. You don't know if it's her running out of adrenaline or if it's something her dad is saying. Whatever the case, she starts slowly running out of steam. And finally, glances down as her foot bumps the little bag you swiped out of the back seat. And sighs, says, okay, well, hurry up. And finally clicks it off. Slumps down into a sit. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks pretty heinous. I would do something about that, but my first aid kit was in my car. Fucking looks over. Like, why? At the gnarled remains of her now, like, completely eaten up by fire vehicle.
It's not the worst thing. Besides, you look pretty cute when you're angry.
Squints at him. So good.
Leads back down the ground. Like he's lying on the ground, you know what I mean? Sitting.
Oh dear. We've triggered the psycho. There's the initially like the sus-ass squint, which you'd like to roll to be very convincing.
What am I rolling?
Just, I don't know. Fucking...
Fuck it, I know what I'm rolling.
I...
Subterfuge. Boom. Boom!
Well, you look convincing, and you look more than convincing.
Boom. That's 5. There's 5 successes. With persuasion. Because it was active.
Oh, God.
Boom.
Well... really hope you don't put your arm down under her because she's going to jump on you.
Probably
she takes a second, gets up, comes over, and straight just sits on your stomach.
What's this? Arm, ow, ow.
She'll carefully lift her leg and move your arm aside and go for the belt.
Yeah, we all know what's happening.
And that is how you will distract yourself for the time it takes for her dad to show up. Congrats. You get the good boy prize. You won.
Yay.
Yay. Gravel.
Yep.
But yes. And as I believe you have other shenanigans to get up to. And Bob is now home and probably most of the way settled. We will likely close this scene on you being able to collect Heidi's things. 2 of you pile in the car. You get a ride back to the garage. And at the very least, Ambrose will make an attempt to treat your burns. At least get some of the pain out of it. Are you just going to, no shit, take Lupus and hang out around the house like that, like it's cool?
Yeah. Yep.
I will give you this in parting. As you take Lupus, probably trotting off to hop into the bed next to Heidi or something, you see the exchange as you take Lupus and Ambrose's eyebrows make a mad dash for his hairline. And of all the stupid shit, the last thing you see before padding out of the room is Becca levels the pointiest of pointy fingers at him and is like, ah! And there we will close this scene.